There are a lot of controversies, there are a lot of secrets that we do not know about Doria Ragland. This is what we want to talk about today in this video. Most of my viewers are not subscribed. If you're one of them, subscribe and also hit the bell. In the year 1981, according to this report, she was born. Who was born? Meghan Markle. I believe that was August 4th. Okay, so she was born and Doria Ragland, she gave birth. Okay, no problem. I mean, I would even go back and check her date of birth and her birth certificate to prove that she was real. I mean, who knows? Meghan Markle can fake everything, including her birth. But let's forget about that for a second. So what happened when Doria Ragland, she gave birth to Meghan Markle, and that time she was with Thomas Markle Sr., Doria. They were living together happily, no problem, handy dandy. But before that, okay, before she gave birth to Meghan Markle, before that happened, Meghan Markle, her mother, Doria Ragland, had a very, very long rap sheet. I will talk to you about that rap sheet in a second. What was that? After Meghan was born, so before Meghan was born, she was into this relationship with Thomas Markle. Remember that time Thomas Markle was working for the Hollywood, and he was, I believe, a lighting man. He used to also produce films. So she was with him. The reason for that was because he had a lot of money. According to Lady Sig, and what we have found out through research and study, is that Doria Ragland saw Thomas Markle as a bank, and she was very, very impressed with his money. So she got married with Thomas Markle Sr. and they started living together. Meghan was born again August 4th, 1981, but we believe she's much older than that. Once that happened, Doria Ragland was gone. Yes, you heard it right. For 10 years from the life of Meghan Markle. As you can see, the picture might seem to be an innocent family, very happy living couple, but that is not the case. For 10 years, she was gone from her life. Where was she at that time? Well, according to the source that I am going to be quoting you in a second, it claimed that Doria Ragland would be gone, and the reason for that would be that she was taking weed. I think that would also include some drug and whatnot, but that's beside the point. Doria Ragland, she left Meghan Markle for 10 years, and she was living her own life. The reason she married Thomas Markle Sr. was that Thomas will provide for her everything, from jewelry, food, housing, clothing, everything, vacation. But looks like to me that did not work the way she wanted. So what she would do, she would just leave the family, including the kid. If you take a look at Doria Ragland, how she treated Meghan Markle's father, Thomas Markle Sr., it is horrendous. At the same time, it is actually going to be pretty much the same how Meghan herself treated her husband. I will talk to you in a second about that. But there is one thing that I want to make mention of, and this is going to be a huge problem. Samantha Markle, she never had a good relationship with Doria Ragland. So you can easily argue and say, oh, wait a second. Because these people did not have a good relationship with Doria Ragland, so obviously they came out and said all the negative things about her. She was gone for 10 years, she was doing, drug and whatnot, she was perhaps in jail, who knows. And all of this negative information, negative PR that Doria Ragland is getting is because of Samantha Markle and the entire family. They did not like Doria Ragland. You can argue about that. But this is the fact, guys, this is the fact. So going back to what I just said, Meghan Markle repeated the same behavior from her mother, Doria Ragland. It shows that if the daughter can do what she did with her marriage, then it will make sense that she learned all of this from her own mother. That you marry people for money, you marry people to climb up the social ladder, and you want to reach to your goal. And you use this man as a mean. When we talk about narcissistic people, let's talk about that thing too, because this is very, very important. Narcissist people like Doria and Meghan, they do these things. They jump from one victim to another one. All the while, they blame other people and they say we are the victim. Obviously, Thomas Markle, he was providing for Meghan Markle. We have seen a lot of videos. If you have not, you can go on YouTube, search. You will see there are a lot of videos of Thomas Markle with Meghan Markle having good time. The only person that did not have a good time was Meghan herself. She was throwing tantrums at Thomas Markle. She was never happy. It was as if you would have brought her the entire world, Meghan would never be happy, since she was a child. And this is why we have seen her divorcing all of this husband, Trevor Ingleson. She wanted money from him. She wanted to be known in the Hollywood. Of course, there is no talent Meghan has that would help her get to her goal, but then she saw in Trevor Ingleson that this is the man who can help me. Of course, the Rory McIlroy, the chef or the golfer, who she wanted to be friend with, and she was actually dating them. In one report, in fact, it suggested that Meghan, when she was married with Trevor Ingleson, she was actually seeing some other men. And I think Corey Vitello, the chef, she was in contact with him. So this is a cheating in a way, because why would you be in that kind of relationship when you are also married at the same time? When I say in that kind of relationship, I mean romantic way, flirting with him. And obviously we have Giuliano, the first husband of Meghan Markle, that we do not mention at all. Nobody. The mainstream media, they don't talk about this. Giuliano or Giuliani, he was the first husband. If you take a look at all of the relationship and how Meghan used all of the her partners in the past, you see exactly same thing with Doria Ragland. She is using people all the time to get to her goal. Now, this is what I really want to make mention of, because this is, I think, very, very important. It is not about money, guys. Just about money. It is about a lot of things. So we have seen now Meghan and Doria Ragland. You can ask this question, wait a second, so how come these two are now together? How come we see them lovey-dovey with each other, mother and daughter, right? What is the problem? We see no problem with them. How come they are together? If Doria was gone for 10 years, how come now they're together and love each other? Well, the reason for that and the answer for that is very, very simple. And that is that this union between Meghan and her mother will help them tremendously financially. So for example, they played the race card. For Meghan, it was very, very important to play the race card, because that's how she was able to, and she is still able to, pull at the heartstrings of so many people, telling them, hey, I was 43%, 60%, 67%, whatever percent Nigerian, and that I have gene or DNA of African people in my blood, in my DNA, would obviously going to make a lot of people fall for Meghan Markle and be able to relate themselves with her, associate with her, for the simple fact that she is also from that race. And to prove all of this, Meghan would always use Doria Ragland, saying that my mother, look at her, she's a black woman, I'm a black. But then of course we know sometimes she will also call herself, or love to be called herself as a white woman. And we have seen that happening even with her kids, the fake kids that we talk about, Lily, Archie. Whenever they post pictures of them, whether they're fake or not, we'll talk about that in a separate video. Obviously I believe they're fake, but let's not discuss that right now. Whenever she will post any picture of the kids have red hair, blonde eyes, blue eyes, blonde hair. I mean, really? And then the eyes, the hair color will change from dark to blonde to red. I mean, this is a clear indication Meghan doesn't really like to be called African. She wants to be called royal because, look, she gave birth to this princess from the British monarchy, from Harry's gene, Harry's DNA. So this whole thing is so confusing, and this whole drama that Meghan is peddling to the public media is really to attract more people to her cause and to tell us that she is winning all the time. So Doria Ragland, according to Lady C. Collins, she used Thomas Markle Sr. as a piggy bank, quote unquote. So Samantha Markle, she didn't like it, and Samantha Markle, according to Lady C. Collins, she said in one statement, the only reason I do not like Doria Ragland is because she was in this marriage with my father, Thomas Markle Sr., for money, only for money, and this is why I do not like her. If you take a look at Doria's lifestyle, all of these things are very, very shady. She's making money from where? We know, and I have reported in this channel before. I said this, guys, the first day when they got married, Meghan and Harry, they put a demand to Harry, asking him to pay from the monarchy in some way, that not maybe necessarily directly, but in some way to pay Doria Ragland, because she had to quit her job. Why? Because her daughter married to a royal family, and now she cannot work there because of the status has changed, and now she is part of the British monarchy in some way. So they told Harry, look, you have to now pay my mother the compensation. She was working, but because of you and your family, she cannot work anymore. And so when you add all of these things together, you find this incredibly believable that this all makes sense. If you have more information, bombshells about Doria Ragland, I don't think you should be surprised or shocked, because for them, Meghan and Doria, anything is possible, like mother, like daughter. Thank you for watching. New here, consider to subscribe.